Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Talen Raven, and today I have a special guest joining me who has a very interesting form of business. It is a mixture of both nature and gardening, but also the beauty of heirloom jewelry. I will let her introduce herself and give a little more on that detail.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of
I
course.
am Britteny Dixon. I'm the founder of BB Fine Vintage, where I've been building my heirloom seed portfolio from my own garden here in Augusta, Georgia. And I've had my jewelry business for about 5 years. I started it in 2020 as a passion project, and I named it after my grandma BB because she was the one that took me shopping every single weekend and taught me the value of quality. She lived on a farm in Georgia. They didn't have much money, and so she had to make all of her own clothes. And so she would show me the fabric and the stitching and say, "Hey, like no, I would want a dress," and she'd be like, "No, it's trash. You gotta no. Let me show you. Like this is a good stitching and things like that." And she bought me beautiful jewelry, and that's how we kind of that's my love of jewelry came from her. So she gets the name on the business. So she passed in 2018. So it was a way to honor her and everything that she taught me and everything like that. So
And when did you start the business?
in 2020,
Okay.
in 2020,
Okay. And what was your way of doing so? Like, what motivated you to start it?
my sister, she was like, "Well, I love jewelry. You have to love what you're doing." And then I overbought a bunch of jewelry and I was like, okay, I'm going to rotate some of these pieces. And so I was selling them on Poshmark. And what I would do is when I sold the piece, I would use those earnings to either upgrade a piece or get a new piece. And so then I just kept buying and buying and buying. And I was like, I got to do something. I was telling my sister, she was like, why don't you sell on Instagram? And selling on Instagram was a lot easier in 2020 because the pandemic was happening and there was supply chain issues. So you had to buy what was already here in the US and local to your city. And so I started selling on Instagram, finally did that. And I Instagram selling on Instagram, it takes a lot of time talking with people. And so I got my website, I think I set up my website about 3 years ago, and just the automation of that, where if you have a question, you can certainly ask me on Instagram or the website, but I didn't have to ask for the address. I didn't have to, do you want to pay Venmo? Do you want to pay, and then, I'm not having a bunch of people that I don't know show up at my house to buy jewelry. That was kind of like the biggest thing where I was like, I need to get a PO box, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because initially it was most of the people that I knew or people that I knew of or something like that. But then when my following started growing uh, throughout the U.S. and now globally, I don't know these people, so it's just a great way to automate things. I'm still on Instagram. I really enjoy Instagram, but. Um,
That website's beneficial.
the website is very beneficial. People ask me that people have asked me before on Instagram, why do you have a website? And I told them automation, but they're doing more home goods.
Mhm.
And when I went into this business, there were a few Instagrams that were doing vintage and resale Instagrams, and they were great and still are. But I knew I always wanted to do jewelry because of the shipping and
Yeah.
everything like that. So for some people, it's better than it just depends because home goods is hard to ship. It's expensive.
Yes.
So
Especially with something with specifically what you sell, it's very fragile.
yeah.
And you want to make sure, you're selling quality, so you want it to be sent like it's quality.
Right. Yes. Yes. A lot of them they're in local shops
Okay.
now. Like they'll do drops on Instagram, which are really fun because then you kind of get to see it first. That's what I like to do with my Instagram is my followers are going to see it first. I'm going to put it out there and then put it on the website, and then it's access to everyone.
That's awesome. So you were talking a lot about your Instagram. So what is something people don't see as you're operating a social media, something that happens behind the scenes that people aren't really aware of?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? Where do I start? I have a friend, shout out to Audrey Monroe. She's a social media influencer. She has her own media company, and when we talk about doing a collaboration, the things that I learned from her about how to really utilize your social media is just mind blowing, because I have so much to learn. I still have so much to learn. Um, my biggest thing about social media is, like, I am a perfectionist when it comes to the business, and if it's not perfect, I feel like I can't put it out there, but it's better done than perfect, and you have to keep your Instagram up going. I'm only on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok. I'm sure I could make a lot more money doing those things, but I don't do them because I don't want to, and because I have to keep my sanity.
Yep.
And so I understand I could probably make the same content and put it across all three, but you still have to engage with people. And so part of this is building a community of clients. I don't want just like one time people see me on TikTok and buy something. That's great. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, for my business, when my sister, she was like, okay, do you want to grow fast or do you want to grow slow? That was her first question. And I was like, I want to grow slow. So that's why I've been doing this for 5 years, and I have maybe like 1,800 followers, but I know probably about 90% of them. So, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, social media is hard. It's a lot of work. And you just feel like you're just trying to get so many people's attention, and there's just a lot out there. And so you put all this effort into it, and maybe you get like shadow banned or something. And like sometimes you get 300 views, and then you can see that traveling to your website. And then sometimes you get 60 views, and you're just like, oh, that was my best stuff, But, but yeah, so social media is hard. Another thing with social media is I don't get political on my branding page. I don't get political on social media anyway. But I want people, when they see that I've put up a story or they go to my Instagram, that first of all, they don't care about how I feel about politics. You know what I mean? And no, they're there to see jewelry and to be, and I don't ever want to like put anything shocking on there, something ruin somebody's day. I want it to be a reprieve from this crazy world. And that's why I keep my opinions to myself, honestly, which is very hard for me to do, actually. So, I mean, in real life, if somebody asks me, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
But I keep that off of social media.
And social media, and especially from my piece, like you were talking about, there's so much to learn from it. A lot of people, I make social media content for other people. And so they come to me and they're like, hey, do you know what this does? How to do this? How to make this, like, promote this better? And I'm learning that as I'm doing this more, but I know how to make the videos. I don't know how to make the piece of like, okay, so you're going to use this hashtag, this trending audio, this da-da-da-da, and then you're going to get 50,000 views and be happy.
And then it changes, right? And then the algorithm completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
So they just switched it up.
There used to be a thing when I was probably 3 or 4 years ago, like when I was really starting getting into social media, you used to be able to hit like copy link 3 times and it would help your video just go.
Oh.
And so I remember doing that and I was like, man, my videos are getting thousands of views.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, that method doesn't work anymore.
No. They switch it up. They keep you on your toes.
And they've now added resharing to Instagram?
I don't even know what that is.
I'm not sure how that works.
How does that work? Yeah.
So I've started using it on my business page as like a way to just kind of like every time my client posts a video, I'll reshare it. And I'm like, here's my portfolio built out on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, but it's not like.
Where are they sharing it to?
That's the thing.
Where's it going?
It's like the piece of. it's not like on Twitter or Facebook where you repost something, it's like clear you reposted this person's thing. It's
Yeah.
just kind of, I think, pushing it in other people's feed that follow you.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. I'm still like trying to
Okay.
figure it out.
Yeah.
But when this came out, I was like, what is this button and what is it doing?
Business owners are always trying to figure it out.
There's always something new.
There's always something new. And if there is something new, then that's good. That means you're not staying in the same place doing the same thing, because staying in the same place doing the same thing doesn't work. Now, I'm not talking about values. Values should stay the same as long as they're good.
Yeah.
But if you're not, if you're just in your comfort zone, it's not gonna work.
And that's a big thing to learn as a business owner, especially getting started. I've now been in for a year, and that was something I didn't learn until like 3 months ago. Of like, I was like, oh, I'm not comfortable doing that. Oh, I'm not comfortable doing that.
Right.
But every time I did something that made me uncomfortable, there was usually a massive benefit from it.
Yes.
Even if it didn't go the way I had planned.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn from being uncomfortable.
I get anxious, especially before, something like this or TV or an event or a pop-up or whatever. And I'll get really like anxious before and like so anxious to where I'm just like, I can't do it. And then I'm like, oh, and God's like, hey, that means it's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
And there's other spiritual warfare that's trying to get you out of that because they don't want you to go and spread the word, spread the good news, show up.
Even just be a representative. I mean, that's the thing. I lead some college students in a Bible study, and that's the thing I tell them is like, you don't like if you're not comfortable going out and just flat out sharing the gospel, or you don't feel like you know enough, you don't have to. I was like, just be a good representation.
Yes.
Like listen to somebody, like be a like lending hand. Like those things. Showing character will lead people to remember, like the people remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Ultimately, so like months down the road, if someone never sees me again, I don't want them to be like, man, I remember this one thing he said.
Yeah.
I want it to be like, I don't remember what he said, but working with him felt good. Like I felt comfortable. I felt easy doing so.
Yeah.
So it's
service.
Serving.
It's not about us. It's not about us.
Mm-hmm.
It's about serving, finding where you can serve. And you're not going to get a pat on the back for it. And you're not going to get praised for it. And you do it anyway.
Yeah. That's
in fact, it's probably going to be a pain, is what it's going to be. And you're going to just keep your mouth shut and keep doing it. You know what I mean? So.
And that's the piece of, I've said it multiple times now, but being in business, the most successful businesses are not selling an item, but selling a need and filling it. And a service, and it's like, well, why should I buy that? Well, it's because it does this for you.
Right.
People don't just buy something. Sometimes they do,
but
most of the time people aren't just buying, well, oh, that looks nice, I'm going to buy it. It's like, oh, I'm going to buy this because it is better for me in this way. It's like, oh, I'm going to buy this specific LED light bulb because it doesn't overheat like these ones do.
Yeah. Intentional consumption is, and that's what a lot of resellers like Vintage and the State, it is better for the planet. It really is. My business kind of grew pretty, not, I say it grew quick, but it was just, I'm still doing it because, it was hard to get things, and it still is hard to get things now that are quality.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't make things like they used to. There's some brands that do, like Ralph Lauren, they're still in, like LL Bean, Chanel. I'm yeah, me too. In fact, he's got a documentary out. Delta flights have like these documentaries about it. It's really, really good. Yeah, you should watch it.
I need to watch that.
Yeah. So you've got all these brands that stuck to quality. And that's what I'm always like trying to do, because I do love costume jewelry. And costume jewelry, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's a fine, like that solid gold and sterling silver are going to last a lot longer than resin or bronze or whatever. So, but I do enjoy costume jewelry because it's fun, it's different, and I like all of it. I like the fine jewelry. I like the costume jewelry. But I try to be transparent about what the materials are, um, because you're gonna get what you get, and you are gonna have to pay more for a quality piece, but it's gonna last you a while.
Get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So moving into a fun segment I like to do with every episode is film or fail.
Oh my gosh.
So you get to tell me about your favorite movie or a moment where you had a failure in your business and you learned from it.
I'll tell you my favorite movie, which is like the most basic movie ever, and I've seen it 1,000 times, and I don't think it warrants a conversation, but I do love Clueless. Clueless is my favorite movie.
Okay.
I've always, and it's so funny because I am like a history nerd. Like I love documentaries, but I've watched that movie like way too many times. It's just a feel good movie for me, but as far as failures for the business, I would say my last failure to where I almost had to just shut everything down was uh, last year. I really overspent on the business. I really, really overspent, and I was, you just when you do that, it's very easy to do. It's very, very easy to do because you want quality and you want the best and this and that. And I just thought, oh, I need more in order to get like more inventory in order to get more attention from my clients, and that backfired. And I'm glad that it did because it showed me, hey, like, no, remember, like, you need to slow down. This is about finding those treasures. It's gonna take some time, making sure that it's a really cool quality piece. That was my so this year I've had to really draw it back. Really draw it back and just
Budgeting.
budgeting. I need to be more of a budgeter, honestly. So.
That's a struggle I really struggle with is not this. I struggle with the spending piece. Like I really struggle to make the investment. Like I sit there and it's not a piece. Like I say this time and time again to people. I'm like, I'm sitting and I'm like, I know that I need this. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to buy. And it's like, why am I being that way?
Because it's coming from a place of lack. And if you are a true believer in God, you are going to let him do that. It's his money. Mm-hmm. It's his success. It's his glory. It's everything. It's his. So when we come in our business, and just in life in general, when we come from a place of lack, like, ooh, I don't want to spend that because that's a lot of money. Yeah. We're saying to God, you're not going to fulfill this for me. You're not going to, and it's just like, that's not true. Like there's times where I've used my business to pay a bunch of stuff off actually. And he told me, he was like, I'm looking at my account and we made some money. And I'm like, and he's like, pay off that car, pay off that student loan, whatever. And I'm like, but then it's going to be zero. Like it's going to be zero. And like literally zero. Yeah. And it would go to zero. And then he'd fill it back up again. And then it'd go to zero. And then he'd fill it back up again. And then it'd go to zero. And he's done that so many times that now, like, I don't even, like, if I look at my business account, like, it has like $200 in it. I'm just like, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine, or it's not going to be fine. And even if it's not fine, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be wherever he wants me to be. I'm going to do whatever he wants me to be. And if the business isn't serving, then okay. Yeah. Move on to something else.
And that's something as I talk to people on here, like you see it time and time again, almost every business owner you meet will talk about like that faith walk because it takes a different level of like security to be able to step out and start it, much alone continue with it. Because I mean, I remember when I was 18 sitting in my previous job at the desk, the day that I quit, I was like, I had no plan. And I was talking to my parents about it. I was like, I'm going to quit my job. And they were like, why? Like this could be a full-time position that you could last you. And I was like, I don't feel like it's filling. It's like what I should be doing. I just feel like I should step out. And I did. And I had no plan. I had no reassurance. And then I was like, okay, it's go time, scramble mode. Yeah. And for probably 3 months, I don't think I made $1, but I made so many videos for people of like all of these restaurants that are just locally known and locally
Yeah.
owned. And I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I can make a video for free if you collab post with me
Yeah,
on social media just to get
Yeah.
people to see
Oh, yeah.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then that created the opportunities for me to go into people and be like, look, here's what I've done.
Yeah.
I built out that portfolio so now I could be like, can you give me $50 for this?
Any career, like even when I started my career as a dental assistant like 15 years ago, I wish I remember who told me this, but she was like, just say yes to everything.
Mhm.
Say yes into, I will go in and do that procedure even though I haven't done it before. Like you got to start somewhere, you know. And then I rolled that into this business here where it's like there's gonna be times in your life where you're gonna have to do things that make you uncomfortable in order to get in the same room with people, talk with people, learn from people. And so in your first year and your couple first years of business, just say yes to everything. And then once you know what is working for you, because then that is when you have to say no to things. You don't have to say yes to everything after that.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing a pop-up somewhere and it just never works out for you, okay, it's time to say no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's time to move on to a different, opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
Change is not a bad thing when at any point, change is a sign of growth.
Yeah.
And a big piece of like change and to grow, you have to, like prune the branches. You have to, and this, you garden. You have for flowers to flourish and for things to grow and be beautiful. Like there comes a time in the season where it's like, okay, I got to chop you off that way you can grow back stronger and fuller.
Yep. Yep.
So
that's true.
That's a big message to business owners. I feel like that people are like, no, I can't change it. It's not good. And change is good.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. Staying true to your core values.
Yes.
Like
you don't have to change who you are.
Exactly.
You just have to change
what you're
how
doing.
You do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what is one thing that you're excited for with your business, like coming up?
I'm always excited. Anytime I get like a new batch of jewelry, and I'm so excited. For me, a lot of it is like the thrill of the hunt. So I'm like always excited to be sourcing. Always. I source like probably almost every day. And it's not, and I just get so excited about it. And I will spend hours and hours and hours sourcing, and I won't buy a single thing just because I didn't find it or this or that. But I still had a great time doing it. So I am excited about that. I'm excited about building the seed portfolio. The seeds that are on my website are from my garden, non-GMO seeds. No, I don't use pesticides or anything like that. I use like neem oils and stuff if I have critters, and I use like diatomaceous earth for like ants. So, because I don't want to be around anything that's not natural, and I don't want my dogs to be around it, and I don't want to eat it. And I think that it's just really, really important that on my Instagram it says I live an heirloom lifestyle. I do live an heirloom lifestyle. I do. It's important to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very important. And I know you're happy with the weather currently with that in mind.
Yeah, it's nice today. It's beautiful today. A little windy too, which is nice. Kind of keeps the mosquitoes away.
Keeps the mosquitoes away. Keeps, that sun from feeling like it's beating on you. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Augusta, very pretty.
Yeah.
Last thing is, where can people find you and follow you? So I know you said that you have an Instagram and you have your website, but what are those under?
Yes. So the Instagram is BEBE, Fine Vintage. And then the website is just 2Bs, finevintage.com.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you coming
Thanks
and
for
speaking.
having me.
And I'm very excited to continue to watch as this grows for you.
Yeah, and I'm excited to keep working with you too.
Yes, ma'am. All right.